Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rosham Joe Gaming. Getting right to it today and doing some salvage in the Moth.
Let's go.
So I'm currently out here in Crusader doing the unverified salvage missions for 13,500. The Prospector, Valkyrie, Cutlass ships like of that size, no problem. However, when you get into the Caterpillar and larger, you're unable to crack those with the fracturing arms. This ship does have guns and missiles, so it is possible, I imagine, to break the ship apart using something like that and then just eating the chunks that are left. However, I haven't tested it, so I'm just enjoying hopping between these smaller ones and just doing like a dine and dash, eat and run type situation here. Not the most profitable. Salvage in general is not the most profitable profession right now. I do imagine that later on when crafting comes in that the RMC and the CMAT will be more important. However, at this time it's really just used for things like you can refine it and sell it, or you can turn it in for the new salvaging missions. Both the pilot and co-pilot of the Moth are actually able to pilot the ship. The co-pilot gets access to the missiles, while the pilot gets access to the guns as well as the fracturing arms. That's where I'm currently seated right now. There are also 3-manned turrets that come with a cinch and an abroad, but I'd probably swap those out for an abroad and a sure grip tractor beam, just because I'd prefer to be able to grab pieces and move them into a better position or rotate them, things like that. Now, one of the reasons that I'm not even scraping at all right now is because the Moth, I believe, is bugged and is only doing about 10% the scraping speed as it should. The ship should fall somewhere between a Vulture and a Reclaimer, but it's by far the slowest ship that I've scraped with. The filling station on the ship is 32 SCU, and I believe that they had said this is actually an error as well, and it should be 64 SCU, which is good because the ships that this can break and eat are almost 32 by themselves, in the case of like things like the Valkyrie and the Constellation. So having that hopper up at 64 would be an improvement. Sure, I'd love to see it at like 96 or 128, but what are you gonna do? And then finally, you got the external cargo, which is 96 on each side, and it is auto-ejecting. So when that hopper is full at 32, or whenever you feel like it, you can choose the port or starboard side to eject to, and get everything unloaded from the filling station. Also has 32 SCU of internal storage. However, that was a lot harder to fill with the boxes, and is probably better left for things like components. Side note though, you can put components on the external as well. So if you wanted to just, if you were looking to get components, see, I'm already done. 259. We're done. We're moving on. I haven't even finished rambling yet. But yeah, if you wanted to pull weapons and components off, you can actually store those on the side of the ship as well. So I'm going to run a few more missions here, a few more contracts that is, and then I'll make a few observations. So while we are flying to our next location, I'm going to jump out of the pilot seat here real quick and go ahead and kick off the auto eject on both sides since the filling station was full at 32, and then sit back down and get back to work. landing at Levski to drop off all of the material here, 192 SCU, like I said, on the external side. You'll note there is a raft there, and that is because I lost control of my ship earlier and needed to rescue myself. Luckily, 192 SCU on the Moth, 192 SCU on the MOLE, or the raft. So it transferred rather quickly, and yeah, I imagine if you wanted, you could actually have somebody running with the Moth, just like I've been doing it here, and then have someone show up with a raft or another, even, you know, any cargo ship really, but the raft is perfect in my mind. Do a quick transfer and then head off to get that refined and or stored wherever and move on back. We will get this stuff unloaded here. I'll show you. You can actually move the boxes underneath the ship. You just got to make sure you close this elevator so that it doesn't impede you. And then double click the boxes that are lower and it'll drop 2 at a time, and then you can just slide them over to the elevator. Once you're done with that, go back to the top row, again 2 at a time, and do the other side. Right now, the Moth is only ejecting 8 SCU boxes. I believe that, again, is another bug, which, you know, it's kind of frustrating that it would have released it in this state, but I'm enjoying it even as it is with all of its flaws. But once you can do 24 SCU boxes, imagine only having to move 4 at a time, you know, per side. That's going to make this that much quicker. So anyways, so yeah, we'll pull the box here and just shove it right underneath, and then we'll repeat that for everything else. So the last area of storage here is in the cargo bay, and that is for 32 SCU. However, I think it's better left for things like components, or just store all boxes that, you know, bring, you know, supplies that you might need, because getting the boxes in here is not an easy task. It's easy to get them out as they will phase through the pipes, but getting them in is a chore, and I'm cool with just 192 for the time being. So a recent quality of life improvement they made when it works is the ability to create refinery orders directly from a ship. Now this will work for salvage, mining, and cargo, so long as the material is on the official cargo grid for that ship. So you can see I've got the ARGO MOTH selected as my source, and then we are going to refine that. 72 SCU is going to refine down to 14.4, which isn't great, but they will round that up to 15 SCU, which is overall that's 20%. For the medium-sized ships, and right now that sells for about 238,000. If you are able to set up an order, you will see a screen like this when you go to retrieve your ship, which is basically saying that they are currently working to transfer it. This was 224 SCU, which is the 192 external as well as the 32 internal, and it was all of, I think, 2 minutes when I first started, so it's not bad. By the time you get back to your ship, it's pretty much ready to go. So yeah, that's my Moth experience so far. I'm enjoying it, and hopefully once they fix a couple things, it'll be that much better. So, all right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, and catch you in the next one.